Hey guys, the last year or so, a lot of you have been concerned about this Smartkey, and I've kind of avoided it. They're actually not as difficult. They are different, and they require different techniques, but it's a piece of do. And any Kwikset that has moving parts enough to do instant rekeying, you know there's got to be some weaknesses, and there is. I don't understand why everybody's so excited about these. Anyway, it does come with a key. The key looks like, come on, focus for me. Nothing special, typical of Kwikset, works beautifully. It is a key retaining, which is interesting. And by the way, these are riveted in, these cores. There's no way to remove that core. So we couldn't, we don't need to repin it. We can rekey it. All right, let's go ahead and figure out how to open them. The secret to this, if there is a secret, I think it's pretty widely known. There's two different ways to get into these. The biggest known weakness is brute force, where you take, basically it's a piece of carbon steel that's shaped like the key. You stick it in there, it has a handle on it, you turn it, and you'll actually shear those discs. Pretty fragile in there, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to ruin a perfectly good lock. Instead, we're going to pick it. But SPPing is difficult because these wafers have false gates on them. And so if you don't pick them perfectly in sequence at just exactly the right tension, you're not going to get into it. The core or the wafers will seize up if you pick them out of sequence, and all the subsequent wafers are locked up. You can't pick them. So obviously tensioning is very important, but we're not going to pick it. We're going to rake it, and that's the secret of these. Tensioning, so what we're going to do is, there's a little bit of spring tension on that. Just put very light tension. So light, just pretend that you're picking like serrated pins. Now there are no serrated pins, there's just serrated wafers, but kind of the same thing. I'm going to use this Quinn rake. This is by Christina Palmer, new design, but it's kind of like the worm rake. So very light tension, and we're going to rake them in sequence and just rake away. And you'll know because the core will just start to turn a little bit. And then you know you've at least hit one of the false gates, and then you're in. And if you go part of the way, and one of the wafers, you feel it, there we go, that's all there was to it. If you go part way, in other words, you get a good fault set, but then it doesn't go any further, it means you put too much tension, just recock it and start it over. I mean, it's too easy. I don't understand why everybody has this mystique about this smart key system. There's not a lot to it. It has inherent weaknesses, and it's just tensioning and raking. When you have something different, I'm going to lock it back. When you have something different, figure out a new technique and try it. Now I'm taking this housing off because I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that said I milled through the side of it or whatever, but this thing is still completely intact and it still works perfectly with the key. So nothing special, guys. It's a Kwikset. Just, you can't SPP it. You got to rake it. Different technique, different mechanism. Anyway, thanks for your time. Stay safe, stay legal.